Goodbye operator and hello Kapal. Let's take a quick skip through the new features in release 60 of our engineering toolkit for Apache Kafka. So beyond rebranding our flagship product from Operator to Kapal, release 60 brings new options for you to authenticate users. So this particular Kapal is storing user credentials in LDAP. You can store user credentials on disk or in a JDBC database. We've wrapped Jetty's JAAS authentication options, and all the details of that are on our new user guide at docs.kapal.io. There's a new user profile screen that shows you who's logged in, the roles they have, and the permissions that they have. Those permissions are dictated either by your RBAC configuration, or if you're using simple access controls, by the environment variables that you set when you start the system. You can see in this case that I've got a couple of invalid RBAC policies that are attempting to be applied to one of my roles. And we can check on the access policies page. It tells us a little configuration error here. And both of those policies are in fact connect, create, and schema edit are trying to be applied to a cluster domain where they should more correctly be applied to connect and schema, so they'll be ignored in this case. The major feature release for version 60 of Kapal is the compute console. So this gives you the ability to monitor and control consumption and compute. Now this is in a feature preview, so it's not complete yet, but it's ready for production use with respect to consumer groups. We're going to extend everything that you see here to support Kafka Streams topologies as well, all the way down to RocksDB or in-memory state stores. This particular consumption topology that we're looking at is actually a Kafka Streams application. It's the backbone of how Kapal works itself internally. So we now have the ability to visualize consumption topologies. We can, if we have large topologies, give that a little bit more room to breathe. We can reduce the amount of detail that we see to a member level, to a member topic level, and just to a group topic level. Change the orientation. Change the edge labels from lag to read per second. So in our overlay of this topology, we can actually see the throughput and lag at every point. And this works particularly well with live mode. This topology consumption doesn't have too much data going through it, so I won't demo that. We can also remove the inactive assignments if we just want to make the topology slightly more compact. So we can then take actions at every single level of the topology. Imagine for a moment that I've got a consumer group, there's a poison pill on a particular topic partition, and it's stopping my consumer group from consuming effectively. I can now choose to skip that offset, which means that Kapal will increment that offset once my consumer group has been stopped, because we don't have the ability to stop your consumer groups, and that is a prerequisite before any change can be made to your consumer group. So in this case, Kapal will schedule the mutation to occur within a 15-minute period, and if you stop or restart your consumer group within that period, Kapal will take the opportunity to skip the offset of that topic partition by 1. It'll increment it by 1 from the final offset that it reaches. We can also reset individual offsets by time, or we can set a specific offset for it to go to. We can remove or unschedule operations, mutations if we decide to. And as we move up the tier of the consumption, we can reset an entire member's offsets if we like. We can clear all the offsets for a particular host, and or even for an entire group if we wanted to, by time or reset them entirely. These mutations are also shown to you on the overview page as pending mutations. And we think this is a really powerful new feature for Kapal, giving you absolute control of your consumption and your consumer group offsets. So with that, I will log out.